The new album was the result of a long, painful struggle. Found this one the hardest to write. I feel like I say that sort of every time, but I don't know. It just took a long time to find all the songs, and they just came very slowly. And so when we decided to go to Portland in Oregon, which is one of my favourite cities in America, states in there, and that was like the point where I started to get quite excited and just like, okay, I feel, and then that kind of gave it a bit of a vision, because the whole album is kind of this vision of America, and the backstory being that I'm moving to America in a few weeks' time from now, and so there's lots of songs that are kind of that theme about moving on and having a new adventure, and so it just made sense to kind of go and record it out there and sort of soak up some of that like American vibe, and just and that was once that was sorted, like the whole thing kind of, the last few songs came to be, and it just felt it was all ready, and then yeah, it was done. That's sort of how it came about. I don't think I'm searching for sad situations, but I welcome them with open arms. I mean, I have like this talent, I think, for, if I'm talented at one thing, it's finding the sad situation. I'm just a massive pessimist, and so everything, I'm just very good at everyone's like, oh, this thing's amazing, and I'm like, yeah, but look at it this way, and it's rubbish, and you know. But it's not quite as extreme as that. But you know, I'm very good at finding sad things. But yeah, I don't seek them out necessarily. But there's enough sad things. You just have to know where to look. You know? For a while, I think I was fine being that. It's very British, and I'm just sort of, I don't know. The more times I've spent out there, the more you kind of come back home to England and stuff and go, I don't really like how sort of grey everything is, both in the sky and just like in people. I see it too much, and there's something about that kind of hopeless optimism, just like everything's going to be fine and everyone, you know, you can do it, and I just find quite energising out there, and I'm sort of quite interested to see if it affects me, and to see like how it affects me in a personal level, and also in the songs as well. I mean, I'm not planning to like write a happy album, right, of course, but if there's one place that can maybe help me do that a bit, it might be California. Who knows? So I just got like, got to this bored state. I was finding it difficult to get inspired, and so when I decided with my wife that we were going to move to America for like to shake things up a bit, that was like, that became this impetus for everything, and this new, I mean, it's obviously really exciting and positive, but also like freaked me out loads, and then I had loads to write about again, about being scared of, you know, moving abroad, and like maybe I do like comfort, and maybe comfort is good, and, you know, so I'm always like struggling with those two things. So I think if there's one theme on the album, it's me kind of battling with the life that I have now, and the kind of comfort and patterns that I've got into, both in relationships and in career and living and things, and then also this other side of me that has got quite intoxicated with this new potential, and this kind of a different side of me that I've seen come out when I'm over there and with friends over there, and just wanting to learn a bit more about that Luke and forget that old one, and see if there's some bit in the middle that. yeah, so the song Los Angeles is probably the most personal, like, straightforward. There's not really any clever metaphors or anything that I'm hiding behind. It's like, we're moving to LA, I'm a bit scared, you know, basically tell me it's going to be fine, basically, which is quite, it's weird because you'd think I'd be used to writing and releasing like personal songs, but I think a lot of my songs, even though they sound personal, they're quite metaphorical, or I have this thing where I'll have a personal anecdote or a personal experience, but I like turn it up to 11 to make it even more dramatic for the song, which means I'm slightly distanced from it personally. But this is like, it's almost like a conversation level. This is me, this is my life at the moment.
It's almost gone, almost gone.
I think I'll miss like a good, cozy, almost like the feeling of coziness, because as much as I'm sort of done with winter. It's very cold here now, and I've had a cold few days. I've been thinking, walking around, this might be the last time I feel cold, like for a while. And that's a weird thing to feel, but like, I don't like being cold, but I like being cozy. You know, when you're when it is cold, but you've found like relief from the cold, like an open fire and that kind of feeling, I do quite like, and that will be probably quite hard to find, I think, out there. I'm scared of failing all the time. Yeah, but then I have this kind of belief, and it's an intellectual belief rather. I don't know how much I genuinely believe it, but that failing is good and helpful, and shouldn't be kind of the driving force of life, like running away from the potential of failure, because I think anything worth doing is worth doing because you could fail doing it, and so there's like risk, and so like, yeah, I'm scared of failing, but I have this weird enjoyment that I'm finally, since the last few years, you know, feel like I'm going to do something that I could fail at quite spectacularly. But then you just go, even if you fail, just come back. You just come back. It's not a real failure, is it? It's just maybe a bit embarrassing. I don't know. Souvenir is like, it's got a sinister tone to it, because it's sort of like, when I die, I want to bring, you know, you with me. So, which is obviously like, if you think it through, literally, you can't really do that unless you sort of kill someone while you die. But that's essentially what it's saying. You know, I would like, there's only one thing I would take, and I would take, you know, Hannah, my wife, with me, because I don't want to go anywhere without her. So I don't know how that would work. But I don't know to pick anything else really, because nothing else really matters. That sounds very cheesy, but it's true.
Oh my, after this life, I'll take a souvenir just before leaving here. On the last day of my life, I wonder what I would.
Yeah, so me and my wife Hannah have been working together on the artwork from day one, really, on all my stuff, and which is a really nice and cheap collaboration. It's been a cool process, because she has developed as an artist, so like at the same time as me, and you can kind of see her work change on the artwork, and as my work changes, and the print for this new album is one that she made for this book that she's been working on for 2 years, which very much like syncs up with my albums. We did a road trip in California a few years ago, down the coast from San Fran to LA, down like through Big Sur on these like amazing coastline, and she was really inspired by that and started writing this travel book and planning all these amazing prints of the beaches and the foliage and stuff, and that's her book is coming to like completion at the same time as my album's coming out, and so it just made like perfect sense to use a print of hers for the cover and try and do some more like collaborations around that. And so the picture itself is of the Venice canals in Los Angeles, which is one of our favourite places that we'd walk around and just like imagine having one of the like a house there, which is obviously like crazy dream because they're stupidly expensive, but you know, it's just one of the nice dreams that I think maybe started the whole idea of even moving there. So yeah, that's where that came from. I get inspired to write about death quite often because I think the power that emanates from it is essentially life. I think we don't, as a culture anyway, don't think about death enough because it is like an inevitability, and I think it actually shines back on life, and you kind of, I don't know, I think when you have a healthy way of looking at death, it makes you embrace living more. So definitely the last day is definitely inspired by that kind of thinking, like, you know, basically, yeah, just seizing the day, I suppose, that classic thing. If you just imagine one day will be your last day. It's not really a song about, oh, it could be today necessarily, but it is like, you know, let's try and live every day as if, you know, to the fullest, I suppose, which is a bit cliche, but I think it does make sense as well.